Aloha and welcome. Today we're going to be working with making lei from Koa Leaves that I picked up at my family's property. So I'm just getting my lei base ready using raffia, and then I'm going to pick as many Koa leaves as I think that I need. Since I'm making 2 strands, I think I'll probably need a lot for this one. Picking all the ones that look good. You don't have to clean these if you don't want to, but sometimes they do have a little bit of a white residue on them. And maybe it's just a good idea in general to clean all your lei materials before you use them to get rid of any dirt or debris or any buggies that may have hitched a ride with you on your picking journey. So I try to pick leaves all in the same size, but as you can see, there's baby ones, little keiki, and big ones. There's ones that are super long and super short. So once you pick all of your leaves, you generally want to arrange them by size. So if you wanted to go with your lei, if you wanted to make it from small leaves to big leaves and then go back to small, so you have kind of a fading pattern, or you can just mix it all up and put them all together, whatever way you like. Since this is not a lei that I'm giving to someone, we're using it in a video for my daughter for her hula project. I'm not going to be too picky about the length and size of my leaves, and I'm also going to be using leaves that have maybe what you call imperfections and maybe a little bit of brown on them, so I'm not too fussy about the state of the leaves. But if this was a lei that I was making for a client, I would make sure that there were no imperfections, brown spots, rips, tears. I would want them to all look uniform and the same way. But again, it's lei maker's choice, so whatever you think looks best. In the next segment, we're going to start putting the lei together by using a twisting or twining pattern over and over again. So I'll show that in a minute. Now that we have all of our leaves prepped and ready to go, I have 2 strands of raffia that I have tied and secured. I like to use a 10-pound dumbbell to hold it down. People use all different sorts of things. If you have like a lei making block, you can make a loop and hook it over that. You just need something heavy that will hold down your strands of raffia while you're pulling. So as you can see, I'm taking 1 koa leaf at a time. I'm placing it under the bottom raffia, and then I'm using the second string to fold over it. So it's just a repeating pattern. Place the leaf on the bottom of your raffia, and then you take that strand and bring it over. It's like a twisting motion, and then you pull it as tight as you can without damaging the stem or breaking or ripping it. So then you just repeat this process until your pau, or until you are happy with the length. Now, these ones tend to fall out. Sometimes it's not the most secure way to hold them, especially koa leaves, because they're a little slippery. So if you wanted to do if you wanted to do a haku method with this, that would probably be a little bit more secure. But again, since this was for my daughter's hula filming, I wasn't too worried about it. But if it had been for a client, or if it was a gift I was giving for someone, I would probably be really mindful about making sure all of those leaves were in super tight and then not jostle it or mess around with it. So you just keep repeating until you reach the length that you are happy with. And you can always trim the stems a little bit, make it even. You could leave it rough like that. You could basically use any type of leaf or flower that has a strong enough stem and that will hold up. Like, you wouldn't want to use anything delicate that would just snap when you were folding the raffia over it, because it needs to be able to withstand that pulling and tightness. So you can use anything you want as long as it's not too delicate. So you just repeat until you're pau. And then, since I'm doing 2 strands, I will repeat this entire process all over again for the second strand, and then tie them together so that they're hanging over each other. In the next video, we're going to do a haku with the koa leaves and show how I do it that way. Now we're working on a koa leaf lepo'o using the Haku style of making it. So I have 3 strands of raffia that I tied at the top, and I braided down like a couple inches because you want to leave room at the end and at the top, so when you go to tie it you have plenty of room. And then, as you can see, I'm adding 1 leaf at a time by pinching it in the center, placing it on my bed or my almost braid, and then braiding it in. Now, if this is wili style, then you would have a braid, or you would have a backing, or you would have something, and you would be twisting the raffia around it. Here you can see I'm just braiding the koa leaf into the raffia, and just keep going until you're pau. This one is not super thick, and again, this is for my daughter's hula filming, so I didn't need to make it too thick. But if I wanted to make it thicker, I could add in some tea leaf strips. I could add several pinched koa leaves together to make it thicker, or I could add in some palapalai on the back or even in the front. Anything to kind of, you can see the raffia braid going through, so you generally don't really want to see that. You want it nice and thick and bushy so you don't see anything except for the greenery or the flowers or whatever you're using. But again, this is for home use, so I'm not too fussy about it. So you keep braiding until you've reached your desired length, then you tie it off and you braid a couple more inches down, you tie that off and you trim it, and then you have your lei po'o ready to go.